story in the New York Post the other day about how Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are going to have no role when Prince William becomes king, and he's already planning this.
I'm ignoring this. It will be your titles are stripped, you are gone, you are banished. He doesn't even want Harry with.
It's Harry, Meghan, Archie, and Lily too. And he wants his father to be tougher.
They warned her not to play chess with the crown. But Meghan Markle, oh, she truly believed she was holding the queen. Turns out she wasn't the player, she was the piece. Just another pawn in Prince William's grand endgame, and when the future king decided to make his move, the entire board flipped. Parliament signed off quietly, and Meghan's glittering empire, her brand, her titles, her identity began to crumble in royal silence. For the first time, it wasn't a tabloid rumor. It wasn't a Twitter war. It was legal, official, and coldly strategic. Meghan's empire wasn't toppled by gossip, it was dismantled by law. Let's dive into what's really going on behind those gilded palace gates, because this isn't just another royal headline. Oh no, this is a slow-burning power shift that's been simmering for months, and now the temperature has finally hit boiling point. Insiders whisper that Meghan Markle never saw it coming. But those within Buckingham Palace? They say this was inevitable. For months, whispers echoed through those grand marble halls that a change was coming, that a reset was quietly in motion. Meghan thought her independence meant freedom, but the crown? It was playing the long game. It's the kind of tension that happens when two kings, one reigning, one rising, no longer see the world through the same lens. King Charles believes in conversation. Prince William believes in correction. And that single difference has cracked open a royal rift that's now shaking the foundation of the monarchy. For years, King Charles tried to hold his family together with letters, long phone calls, and gentle persuasion. His method was patience, endless patience. But to William, that patience was
royals who we love. And my audience knows, even if I don't get the names right all the time, or I don't say the perfect thing, I have such reverence for the monarchy, and I love the queen, and I love everyone. So forgive
weakness. Every time Charles forgave, another scandal followed. Another Netflix special, another memoir, another moment dragging the royal family's dignity through the world's headlines. William had watched enough. He didn't want apologies, he wanted order. He didn't want conversation, he wanted control. One palace insider sums it up perfectly. Charles believes in tea and talks. William believes in lawyers and lines. And that line, that chilling line, changed everything. When Charles pleaded, "Remember mercy," William's answer cut sharper than any sword. Mercy is what got us here. That sentence didn't just echo, it split the monarchy in two. That moment, insiders say, marked a turning point. It wasn't shouted in anger, it was spoken with resolve. William's patience was gone. He was no longer trying to mend fences, he was reinforcing walls. Where Charles saw family, William saw vulnerability. Where Charles saw grace, William saw weakness. And from that moment on, William's vision became crystal clear. The crown must come before blood. Behind those palace doors, two generations of kings now stood face to face, one preaching forgiveness, the other enforcing survival. William's next move wasn't emotional, it was architectural. He didn't just want to stop chaos, he wanted to engineer peace. And for that, he brought in an army not of soldiers, but of strategists. Legal minds, historians, constitutional advisors, all secretly crafting something they called the parliamentary alignment. The purpose? To ensure that the next monarch, William, could decide who counted as royal and who didn't.
they are not going to have roles. He's just not mentioning them at all. There's just a moratorium on them. Tell me what you think is going to happen when Prince William ascends and takes the throne.
Oh no, it will be.
No debates, no government vote, no drama, just one royal decree. And when you translate that into plain English, it means this. When William becomes king, he and he alone will have the power to define who's in and who's out. And at the very center of that quiet revolution, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Sources close to the palace insist this isn't vengeance, it's protection. In William's eyes, the crown had become diluted, too many members, too many outsiders still profiting off royal prestige while claiming independence. He reportedly told aides, the crown must be exclusive to survive. And just like that, his mission crystallized. The monarchy of tomorrow wouldn't be emotional, it wouldn't be overcrowded, and it most certainly wouldn't be Hollywood. This was the royal reset button disguised as reform, a clean, efficient monarchy stripped of drama and ego. Once this new rule takes effect, royal titles won't be symbolic anymore. They'll be permanent markers of duty. And if you're not serving the crown, you're not keeping the title, period. William's secret weapon? A centuries-old legal tool called letters patent. It sounds fancy, maybe even harmless, but in royal law, it's one of the most powerful weapons ever written on parchment. It's a legal document that decides who's royal and who vanishes from the royal tree. One signature, one seal, and poof. Generations of status can disappear like smoke. The last time it happened was in 1917 when King George V got fed up with an overcrowded monarchy. Too many princes, too many titles, too much confusion. So he slashed the royal list, declaring that only the monarch's direct grandchildren would hold titles. That's the rule that gave Archie and Lilibet their titles when Charles became king. But here's the catch, that rule, it's not carved in stone. It can be rewritten anytime. And word is William's legal team already has a new draft tucked away in a Kensington Palace vault. The updated version, ruthless in its simplicity.
While we've never heard it's a death sentence, certainly a cancer diagnosis really puts things in perspective for a life. And it's so cruel because, he's
Only working royals and direct heirs keep their titles. Anyone who steps away from duty, lives abroad, or profits off the crown, title's gone. No debate, no appeal, cold, quiet, completely legal. This wouldn't cause an explosion, it would cause an earthquake. And once that ink dries, Meghan's entire identity built around the word Duchess begins to crack. Picture this. One day, she's the Duchess of Pitt, Sussex. The next, she's just Meghan Markle. For most people, it's a name. For Meghan, it's an entire brand. Her speaking fees, luxury endorsements, and media influence all orbit around that title. Duchess isn't just a word, it's her golden tag, her trademark. Without it, her sparkle fades fast. Insiders say the thought of losing it sent panic rippling through her California team. Because in the world of business and branding, perception equals profit. The Duchess opens doors that Meghan Markle alone might not. And the cruelest twist? This wouldn't play out on a courtroom stage. There would be no showdown, no explosive headlines, just a silent royal decree that quietly erases everything. The moment that seal touches the page, it's over. No reversal, no appeal. That's how the crown operates quietly, surgically, and legally. And Parliament didn't just step aside, they quietly supported it under the banner of modernization. To the public, it sounded like progress. Behind the scenes, it was the monarchy's power move disguised as reform. The result? Every escape route Meghan might have had gone. The titles, the branding, the royal associations, all legally sealed back inside the institution. For the first time, Meghan's PR team couldn't spin their way out. Because this wasn't gossip. This wasn't rumor. This was governance. The same system that once crowned her Duchess had now silently taken it all back. And this is where the heartbreak hits
Nation. I mean, that is extraordinary. That shows you how far things have fallen. I don't think there is a way back.
Every empire built on image eventually faces one question. What happens when the image fades? For Meghan, that question wasn't metaphorical anymore. It was immediate, brutal, and real. Her brand, her projects, her sponsorships, her stage presence, all tied to the word Duchess. Without it, her star still shone, but not as brightly. The aura of royal mystique that once opened every door was flickering out. She was still famous, yes, but fame without fascination is fragile. Suddenly, speaking fees dropped. Invitations slowed. Sponsors hesitated. Corporations that once adored her royal charm now saw just another celebrity with a complicated reputation. Even media giants Netflix, Spotify, and beyond reportedly began re-evaluating her deals, realizing that without that royal signature, her brand value would shift overnight. It wasn't personal. It was business. And in business, perception is everything. The cruel irony, Meghan had once said she wanted freedom from the crown, but now she was losing everything because of it. The palace didn't need to exile her, they didn't need to fight her, they simply erased the part of her that sold. London, meanwhile, had gone eerily still. For years, the royal family had lived under the storm of scandal fatigue, the documentaries, the interviews, the accusations, and suddenly, quiet. Not because the palace released a statement, not because the press changed sides, but because William's strategy worked. His weapon wasn't aggression, it was composure. While Meghan's camp fought wars in the public eye, William built walls of silence. And that silence became the crown's loudest victory. The monarchy, once seen as fragile and outdated, now stood firm again. Composed, relevant, powerful. Even Parliament began to soften its tone. The once divided voices questioning the monarchy's purpose now spoke with renewed respect. William hadn't just defended the institution, he had redesigned it for survival. He'd drawn a new iron line between family and duty, between those who serve the crown and those who exploit its glow. Inside palace walls, the tone was calm, almost serene. The royal machine had gone from chaos to control. No press war, no loud retaliation, just precision and discipline. William's reputation inside those golden halls transformed overnight. He was no longer just the dutiful heir waiting for his turn. He'd become the strategist, the quiet reformer who rebuilt the monarchy's backbone without ever raising his voice. Some called him ruthless. But in the palace, ruthless doesn't mean cruel, it means necessary. Under his direction, the monarchy began to look less like a family business and more like a professional institution. Titles meant responsibility, appearances meant service, and branding? That was over. The message was clear. If you're not working for the crown, you're not wearing it. William's quiet motto began circulating within palace circles: dignity over drama, and every single decision reflected that. He wanted a monarchy that couldn't be bought, sold, or manipulated, not by Hollywood, not by tabloids, not even by family. And it worked.
Beloved late mother's reign was, just unforgettable. And he really hasn't even had a chance to make his mark. Not only that,
the crown's image shifted cleaner, sharper, and more respected than it had been in decades. Younger royals started following his example. They saw in him a leader not loud, not flashy, but unshakably firm. William didn't just preserve the monarchy, he reinvented it. Not for nostalgia, but for longevity. Meanwhile, 5,000 miles away in Montecito, that silence echoed louder than ever. No headlines, no announcements, but Meghan's team felt it. Her calls weren't returned as quickly. Her brand inquiries met polite rejections. Deals that once seemed effortless now came with conditions. The empire that once shimmered with royal gloss was losing its glow quietly, day by day. And that's the genius and the cruelty of William's plan. He didn't need to confront her. He didn't need to humiliate her. He simply shifted the system until her relevance melted away. No fight, no drama, just consequence. Inside Buckingham Palace, there were no celebrations. No champagne toasts. Just calm satisfaction victory wrapped in velvet silence. Because the monarchy had regained something priceless, its dignity. It didn't need to trend on social media or dominate headlines. The crown's power had always lived in restraint, and William reminded the world of that timeless truth: silence, when wielded right, is stronger than scandal. For the first time in years, the palace didn't look defensive, it looked deliberate. Every scandal that once made it wobble had been absorbed, neutralized, and transformed into reform. Even critics, those who mocked the monarchy as outdated relics, started admitting it. William hadn't declared war, he delivered stability. The slimmed-down monarchy was no longer a phrase, it was reality. And it worked. The crown looked lighter, sharper, and completely untouchable. The so-called dead weight was gone. The machine ran clean again. And William, the future king, wasn't waiting anymore. He was leading already. The story didn't end with fireworks, it ended with silence, the kind that echoes louder than any speech. The palace didn't need to brag. It simply stood tall and let time speak. Across the ocean, in California's golden quiet, that silence reached Meghan. She could feel it, the invisible message from London that said everything without a single word. The crown doesn't compete, it endures. And that's the full circle moment. Because William's reforms had done what endless interviews and documentaries couldn't, they reminded the world that the monarchy's greatest power isn't its crowns, jewels, or palaces, it's its silence. That ability to say nothing and still win everything. Meghan's story continues. Yes, but the stage has changed. The Duchess identity that once made her unstoppable has been stripped away, leaving behind someone raw, someone human, someone redefining who she really is without a title. And maybe that's the question the world is still asking. Without the title, without the royal reflection, who is Meghan Markle now? Because in the end, the crown didn't destroy her. It didn't humiliate her. It simply waited. And when it finally moved, it did. So the only way the monarchy ever truly wins, quietly, elegantly, and forever,